Hey guys, I'm coming to you from my front yard and we are going to talk about common persimmon, otherwise known as Diospyros virginiana. By now, I would think that you could deduce that any of the plants that we have that we've learned with virginiana or virginicus as the specific epithet, it tells you that they are native. Because all of them are that we have discussed so far. So when we look at common persimmon, Diospyros virginiana, the leaf arrangement is considered alternate. The leaf form is simple, and the leaf margin is described as irregularly serrated. So some serrations, some not at uniform intervals. This is considered a tree, broadleaf and deciduous, and it is considered large. I tend to find more small specimens, but it can reach large heights. So don't be surprised if you find some big ones in your travels. What I have found with the larger specimens I've run across is oftentimes they're not branched low. So you're not always seeing the foliage, and you'll actually run across the fruit on the ground and you can look up and it's like, oh, that's a persimmon. The form is considered oval. Soil preferences, they prefer sandy soils. Moisture preferences, they prefer moist, well-drained soils, but they will tolerate dry conditions. If they're native to the sandhills of North Carolina, obviously they're going to tolerate dry conditions very well. Durr noted for pruning, it was best to prune this plant in the winter, that if pruned in the spring or summer, it bleeds very heavily. All right, I'm going to segue over to another specimen here, just so you can see. Growth rate is considered average to slow. Exposure to light is sun to partial. These in my front yard are both very much partial. Hardiness zones 4 through 9. Landscape uses, these are really only best used in naturalized settings. I found no reference to any other landscape value for these plants. The flowers are insignificant. They're small little bell-shaped flowers that cluster right along the stem. They have no major impact when it's in flower. The fruit is considered profuse. It's categorized as a berry. This is the fruit right here. Its color is orange to burnt orange when ripe. The size is 1 to 1.5 inches, and it is edible. This fruit has a lot of, I guess, tannins, for lack of a better word. It can be very bitter if you try and eat it when it isn't ripe. Autumn color for this plant is yellow or reddish purple. Leaf texture is considered medium. No notable bark characteristics, no notable cultivars. For pests and diseases, this is prone to fall webworm. And Durr noted that oftentimes in summer and fall, these are plagued with a black leaf spot. And you can see these obviously have that. And we have many samples on campus. I can't get quite as close to the foliage on campus. That's why I'm doing the video here. But everything I've seen tends to just have kind of yucky foliage this time of year. That leaf spot is pretty prevalent. It's not harsh enough that it's going to kill the plant. It just makes ugly foliage. It is a North Carolina native. It is a U.S. native. It's not invasive. I found no reference to salt tolerance. Like so many of our other natives that we've discussed recently, this can colonize because of a suckering growth habit. These plants are difficult to transplant, and it is dioecious, so it means that you need male and female plants. But interestingly enough, sometimes you can have both male and female on the same plant. Not always, but sometimes. Durr, page 378. You can find these up around our compost heaps, pretty much everywhere, dotted through there. There are some dotted in the hillside, the Japanese area as well. You don't have to look hard to find these. And I will say, if you're ever interested in eating the fruit, I've heard two things. One is that you should wait until after frost, that the fruit sweetens dramatically after frost. The other that I've heard by old timers is that you should only eat fruit that has ripened and fallen off the tree. That's the only way you can be assured that it's fully ripe and it's not going to be bitter when you eat it. All right, thanks.